Welcome to another episode of the Poe Underground Podcast. I am your host, D.K. Mckenzie. In today's episode, I have 4 musical poems I'd like to share with you. This first poem is called Alone on the Hill. It was written in the 1920s by a poet and a professor at Harvard named Frederick R. McCreary. And all I can tell you about the music is that this is probably the closest thing I'm going to get to doing a drum solo or a drum jam anytime soon until I get my gear in order. I was having some technical problems, but I had fun playing on the drum pads on the electronic drum set, and I was imagining myself to be Phil Collins in the song In the Air Tonight, having fun playing the pads, and that's about it. Let's launch into it. Alone on the Hill. Hope you enjoy it. Alone on the hill in the warm October noon, with the woods below and beyond their brilliance the sea. The moment has come, the rapt, still instant of being, when water and wood are gone. There is nothing now but the on-running fluid of ours, gleaming with blue, yellow, crimson. Now quick, let me run on sharp stones. Let me strangle in surf choked with the bitter salt water. Let me feel pain, feel torture, and the acid hunger of loneliness. Give me self, before I am lost in this madness of space eternal. This horror of dream triumphant. And this next poem was written by a poet named Marjorie Meeker. Couldn't find any information on her, so I can't really say if she's an American or English or anything like that. This was written in 1922, and all I can tell you about the music is that this is one of the first productions where I fully produced it on my latest hardware synthesizer I had purchased last year. I was having some struggles learning and playing around with this new hardware synthesizer, and I'm happy the way it came out. So without further ado, let's launch into Ode to Myself. Hope you like it. Drawing the threads of thought, each delicate filament reaching into too many places, finding forgotten faces, drawing the long twisting thoughts you have sent. Strange that you lie here wondering about things that don't matter. Strange that you lie here pondering, and outside the raindrops patter. A fog is on the town and over the river. The drenched lights cross and quiver, and the far harsh rumble of trams goes up and down. Once, like a wind, beauty swept through you. Once, like a small song that sings and sings, happiness crept through you. Once, love seemed the reason for things, and once you thought peace had come upon you, and then all came to naught. Draw in the threads of thought, each delicate filament, quivering and bright. Draw in the long twisting thoughts you have sent, cast all the tangled old dreaming and groping to the still deep strange heart of night. And this next poem was written in 1921 by an American poet from Chicago named Mark Turbyfill. The name of this poem is called Intangible Symphony. Mark Turbyfill was a painter, a poet, and a dancer. And in the 1940s, he focused mostly on painting and had several exhibits. According to the information I found, his art was considered abstract expressionism with a surreal influence, And the music, well, let's just talk about that for a second. So unfortunately, I had a major catastrophic computer crash, which was an ordeal, needless to say, and fun to navigate. Well, anyway, as you guys have heard me talk about strings, I have a string library that was on that computer, and that was quite a challenge to replace it. Needless to say, somehow I managed to get everything onto another computer and decided I wanted to do something with some more strings, seeing that I'm still paying for that string library. So without further ado, let's launch into the Intangible Symphony, and I hope you enjoy it. How shall I capture sound and desire? Let candor stir upon candor, as sword upon sword, tempering the tenor and the timbre of this sweet ecstasy. Grieved is my mind, harassed by music, untouched of any sound, yet on trellis, on infinite arch, on bridges of fretted iron, frail to thought, acrid to sight, thunderous with traffic of men, red-budding, peach-petaled, beauty flames into view. But how shall I capture sound and desire? How shall I hear the pointed vagaries, the evanescent harmonies that float unfingered across the strings of the mind? How shall I hear, plucked from the intangible mind strings, the song desire sings and sings? There is no create instrument. All right. And this last piece I call Neptune Exits. It's quite interesting in the sense that we have two firsts here. Number one, I found a poem that I wrote last year in one of my notebooks, starting to remember why or what the poem was about. And then I recalled there was a day where I kept watching the same two music videos over and over for a few minutes at a time because these are two of my favorite music videos of all time. Not a big music video person at all, but a few years ago I had stumbled upon a band you may or may not have heard of named The Foals. They're out of England. And I don't know how it came up on my YouTube feed, but there was a music video for a song called Neptune, and I loved it so much. I kept watching it over and over, and decided I wrote it down and said, you know what, whenever I'm feeling down or need inspiration, I will come back and I will watch this video, which normally I don't do, as I had mentioned. And then I found another video by them for a song called Exit, and I almost like it better than the first video. I like them probably equally at this point. Long story short, I actually wrote this poem about the imagery and the music and what I was feeling at the moment while I was watching these two videos back to back, and so I combined them. So it's a poem, and I guess you would call it surreal, but it's based off the imagery off these two music videos. And if you want to check it out. I think they're two of the best music videos I've ever seen. And again, the first one is called Neptune by The Foals. The second is called Exit, also by The Foals. Now, the second first that I want to mention for this podcast is this. This is the first time where I have produced something solely on the iPad as a synthesizer. I didn't mix it on there, but I produced all the sounds came out of the iPad. Long story short, I mentioned my hardware synthesizer earlier. That is by a company named Korg, who's been making synthesizers for a very long time. They actually have apps for iPad and, your iOS devices, phones and stuff. So I actually purchased a iOS app by Korg last year, and it has several synthesizers in it. And I was curious to see what it would sound like and if I could actually produce something that sounds pretty cool. So this is an experiment, and I'm very happy the way it came out. That's all I could say about it. I hope you like it. Check it out. The extreme beauty of free horses galloping on the serene shores of England. Blindfolded students escape through the forest, bound, indulging in playing dangerous games that never end. The foals play on the beach with crows and doves flapping their wings. Black and white things visit the scene. Two horses fit for gods pound the shore. The young paramours play fight each other with silver swords of right. Cruel men in black separate the pair, taking the boy, leaving the girl to dream. The architects of her strife block all exits, restricting access to her love. But she fights and runs. She battles the juggernaut at all costs, running through ice, snow, and fire. She finds him in the end. She takes him to the final exit, and then stays behind, taking a stand. And that is it for today's episode of the Poe Underground podcast. I hope you enjoyed these pieces, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. D.K. Mckenzie signing off. Take care.